welcome to Coach Dave Academy. This is Suellio Almeida. Today we're going to see my lap with the Porsche Cup at Monza. We're going to see the entire lap and then we're going to talk about corner by corner. All right, so going for this very first braking zone, what I really want to do is aim for the beginning of these little plants here. But this is not where I'm going to start braking. This is where I'm going to reach peak pressure. So as you're going to see, I'm already starting to brake more or less here. But you see my brakes going up and up and up and up and up. And even a little bit after that, it's pretty much, that is my reference. That's where I reached the peak pressure. As you can see, I'm not braking too hard. I'm not smashing the brakes too quickly. I'm actually allowing it to load up and progressively reaching the more or less 90%. And then very patient with the steering. Initial turn in is very progressive. You want to use as much as you can here without getting the off track. So you have to try it yourself to see how much you can cut. As you can see here, center of the car on this first flat curb is what I believe to be very close to the off track, but it's all good. You can do that without getting off track. Be careful though, because the slowdown here is very easy to get if you cut it a little bit more. And then here, a tiny bit of throttle and then a little bit of brake and change direction aggressively to cut this as much as you can. Actually, be careful because when you cut, the car bounces a little bit. So you have to be a little bit more careful with the throttle. As soon as the car stabilizes from the bouncing, then you can accelerate more aggressively and go all the way to the outside here. Just make sure you don't touch the dirt. And then we go all the way to the second chicane. I'm actually starting to brake under the bridge. Peak pressure reaching under the bridge. And then patient. You want to cut just like that here and actually change direction. Be careful with this one. There's a new off track now where, as you can see, this is pretty much what you can do. If you get the center of the car on top of the sausage, you do get an off track. So, bummer, because it was more fun to do the jump there. We're still jumping a little bit, though. And then for this one, just make sure you are touching the line under braking. And then very progressive and very aggressive trail braking. Progressive steering, get back on power, not straight to 100%. You go to like 80% and then you modulate. And then when you feel the car is stable, you go to 100%. You can use all this green nowadays. Just make sure you don't touch the dirt because then you get an off track. And then for this one here, braking quite hard and then turning a little bit more quickly. This is a shorter corner than the other one. So Lisma 1 is a long corner, so you have to be very patient. But this one is a lot shorter. So you can turn in and already kind of like, okay, power. And then same thing, just make sure you don't touch the dirt right here. And then for Ascari, I'm actually going to brake under this little bridge. Not bridge, but we call bridge all the time. And then very patiently turning in, slowly trying to touch this second long curb here, the black and yellow curb. I actually missed it a tiny bit, as you can see. And then short shifting to fourth here to allow the car to rotate a tiny bit more safely, and then changing direction and also touching this curb right here, and then allowing the car to go all the way to the outside here. Just make sure you don't touch the grass, because this grass gives you an off track. And then for the last corner, my reference is the beginning of this green painted area here. And then very patient turn in, just always super slow turn in on this car. And then third gear, and then patiently getting back on power as the car stabilizes. We go to 100%. And then we don't want to let the car go all the way there. We want to actually cut a little bit back to the inside here to gain some hundreds. And there you go. The lap time was a 1:48.9. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you next week. Bye.